Alright guys, I just wanted to make a quick video to show you guys what I feel like is the most useful trinkets in Darkest Dungeon currently in the current build, which is the final release build of the game. There may be some more updates, not sure, but all of the full content's been released, but the console version has been released, so there may be more balancing they might do for the console version, but I'm not sure. But let's just go ahead with my these are my top 5 favorite trinkets in the game right now that I feel like are the most useful trinkets. So my number 5 trinket is the common crystal, just because the +4 dodge is really useful, and the -15 stress damage means that you can combo it with these heads, which is very useful at the beginning of the game, because these are some very powerful trinkets, but all that extra stress damage will usually end up screwing you up in the end. But with the common crystal, you can use these on your low-level characters and not have to suffer that much stress. And like I say, the dodge is really important early on too, and so that's why I feel like common crystal is really useful. And so my number 4 is the surgical gloves, because I feel like crit and accuracy is very important, because, well, the accuracy is important because you don't want to miss, but the crit, the more often you crit, the more free stress heals you're going to get, and the less stress you'll have to deal with at the end of the dungeon. Whenever you camp, you won't have as much stress to have to worry about. I mean, you really don't want stress is the biggest, well, stress is the hardest thing to deal with in this game. It'll cause you to blow through your goal really fast. I mean, the more often you're critting, the less stress you'll have to deal with. And so I feel like these gloves, they're not hard to get. The drawbacks, -20 move resist, -10 debuff resist, is that's like nothing. That really won't hamper your party much at all. And the upside is, I mean, like I said, more crit and more accuracy, which is always useful. My number 3 trinket in the game, these are the ones I had a hard time coming up with, but my number 3 trinket is the feather crystal, because I feel like the feather crystal, similar with the situation like with the surgical glove, the feather crystal, +2 speed and +8 dodge. Speed and dodge are really important stats in this game, and to only have -20 resist and -20 move resist, I mean, that's nothing. I mean, they could have doubled that and this still would have been a very useful trinket. It pairs well with almost any other trinkets. Pairs well with a lot of the dodgy classes like the Antiquarian, the Jester, the Houndmaster. Even make like a dodge tank, Highwayman if you wanted to. So I mean, there's a lot you could do with the feather crystal. It's very useful, and kind of hard to come across, but you should be able to find one once you're about maybe 30 to, by the time you're about 30 to 40 weeks in, you should definitely have 1 or 2 of these by then. But moving on to my second, these two I really had a hard time deciding which one was my favorite, but my second favorite in the game was the bright Tambourine, just because it just destroys stress. I mean, you could have an abomination in your party and you could have him transform every single battle, and you still won't have to deal with much stress. Probably not won't have any stress on your party at the end of the run if you're using a bright Tambourine with your Jester spamming inspiring tune. But my last, I feel like it's one of the best, well, really most overpowered trinkets in the game, and I really wouldn't be surprised if they nerf this. But the Raider's Talisman, the +3 crit, +30 trap disarm, +2 speed, plus 20 scouting chance, and the only drawback is a plus 100 food consume. And I mean, that's really, to look at the upside and look at the only downside is a plus 100 food consume. That's ridiculous. Grave robbers are really, really good. I mean, you can combine, if you're worried about grave robbers are being kind of squishy. I mean, if you're worried about that, you can always combine this with a feather crystal, or you could combine it with the ancestor's jacket, and she'll dodge. I mean, she'll dodge almost anything with that combination. But yeah, this trinket is just ridiculously useful. If you could, the earlier you could get one, the better. It's worth keeping a few, maybe I'd say maybe 2, maybe even 3 grave robbers around, just to be able to constantly be using this on your grave robber. I mean, it's that useful. You can even when like I might make a video this later, but my gold running team, I use a grave robber with the ancestors map, and I use that I use Raider's Talisman and ancestors map as part of my gold running team, which I may make a video of that later. But yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video showing what I feel like are the top 5 trinkets in Darkest Dungeon right now. And if you guys have any trinkets that you'd like to discuss, or that you think should be in my top 5, just leave a comment below and let me know.